U.S. government, run by criminal politicians, threatens International Criminal Court on behest of Netanyahu.
You have to hear this to believe this. The International Criminal Court in The Hague is contemplating issuing arrest warrants against senior Israeli government and military officials as war criminals. This would be an outrage of historic proportions. International bodies like the ICC arose in the wake of the Holocaust committed against the Jewish people. They were set up to prevent such horrors, to prevent future genocides. Yet now, the International Court is trying to put Israel in the dock. It's trying to put us in the dock as we defend ourselves against genocidal terrorists and regimes. I want to assure you, no ICC action will impact Israel's ironclad determination to achieve the goals of our war with Hamas terrorists. We will destroy Hamas's military and governing capabilities in Gaza. We will release all our hostages, and we will ensure that Gaza never poses a threat to Israel again. Israel expects the leaders of the free world to stand firmly against the ICC outrageous assault on Israel's inherent right of self-defense. We expect them to use all the means at their disposal to stop this dangerous move. 6 months after the terrible Hamas massacre of October 7th, 80 years after the horrors of the Holocaust, the Jewish state calls on decent people everywhere to reject this outrage by the ICC, to stand with Israel as we fight the barbarians of Hamas in Iran and as we work to secure a more peaceful world.
The letter was written to Mr. Khan with the International Criminal Court, the Office of the Prosecutor. It said, "Dear Mr. Khan, we write regarding the reports that the International Criminal Court may be considering issuing international arrest warrants against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli officials. Such actions are illegitimate and lack legal basis, and if carried out, will result in severe sanctions against you and your institution. The International Criminal Court is attempting to punish Israel for taking legitimate actions of self-defense against their Iranian-backed aggressors. In fact, in your own words, you witnessed scenes of calculated cruelty conducted by Hamas in Israel following the October 7th attacks. These arrest warrants would align the International Criminal Court with the largest state sponsor of terrorism and its proxy. To be clear, there is no moral equivalence between Hamas's terrorism and Israel's justified response. The International Criminal Court is also prohibited by its charter from proceeding in any case unless the relevant government is unwilling or unable to police themselves. You yourself have said that Israel has trained lawyers who advise commanders and a robust system intended to ensure compliance with international humanitarian law. By issuing warrants, you would be calling into question the legitimacy of Israel's laws, legal system, and democratic form of government. Issuing arrest warrants for the leaders of Israel would not only be unjustified, it would expose your organization's hypocrisy and double standards. Your office has not issued arrest warrants for Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, or any other Iranian officials, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, or any other Syrian official, or Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, or any other Hamas official, nor have you issued an arrest warrant for the genocidal General Secretary of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, or any other Chinese official. Finally, neither Israel nor the United States or members of the International Criminal Court and are, therefore, outside of your organization's supposed jurisdiction. If you issue a warrant for the arrest of the Israeli leadership, We will interpret this not only as a threat to Israel's sovereignty, but to the sovereignty of the United States. Our country demonstrated in the American Service Members Protection Act the lengths to which we will go to protect that sovereignty. The United States will not tolerate politicized attacks by the International Criminal Court on our allies. Target Israel, and we will target you. If you move forward with the measures indicated in the report, we will move to end all American support for the International Criminal Court, sanction your employees and associates, and bar you, now get this now, bar you and your families from the United States. You have been warned. Now, this letter was signed by several senators, and I believe all of these are Republicans. Tom Cotton, Marsha Blackburn, Mitch McConnell, Katie Boyd Britt, Ted Budd, Kevin Cramer, Ted Cruz, Bill Hagerty, Pete Ricketts, Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, and House Negro, Tim Scott. Now, Mr. Khan, he did respond back to these criminals, these American lawmakers. His office indicated that it is committed to constructive engagement with all stakeholders whenever such dialogue is consistent with its mandate to act independently and impartially. However, this independence and impartiality is undermined when individuals threaten to retaliate against the court or the court staff. The office insists that all attempts to obstruct, to intimidate, or improperly influence its officials cease immediately. Now, how's that as a message to the corrupt criminal lawmakers here in the United States? You also had some members of the House who are pretty much saying the same thing and threatening to create a bill that supports what these senators said in this letter. This is the criminality of the American government, controlled by Benjamin Netanyahu and his clan.